Tahu betul informasi ini terlalu mahal untuk di-neglect. Jadi mereka akan mengenakan sepatu lari. Langsung sprint ke arah seaside. Yang dimana ada Soldam yang akan memimpin penyerangan. Zesbio akan dites. Paranoia sempurna. Nano Swarm juga aktif. Tapi Soldam masih bergerak. Berserk. Kill yang pertama. Dan spray down datang. Trade killnya berjalan. 4 melawan 2. Boom Esports diuntungkan. Ace dan Yatsuka bertengger di arah fountain. Tapi apakah mereka bisa bertahan lebih lama lagi?
Mereka ternyata mau coba re-hit lagi ke arah seaside. Ace membuka celah besar karena CSBU tumbang. Masih ada smoke dari Clove. Setelah kematiannya masih bisa membuat sebuah assist berupa smoke. 2 lawan 3. Ini bisa jadi ronde yang sangat krusial untuk Bumi Sport kalau mereka bisa kalah di sini. Tapi ternyata Riddle memilih untuk respect. Re-hitnya dibatalkan. Tapi di sisi lain Bumi Sports akan coba bermain lebih rapat satu sama lain. B-side-nya masih ada turret, A-side-nya dikosongin untuk bermain retake bersama. Tapi Riddle sepertinya akan berlabuh ke arah B-side. Karena itu mungkin side yang lebih mudah untuk dimasuki dengan 2 pemain. Ada 2 smoke dan juga 1 stun dari Yatsuka.
Ya, stun ini yang tentu akan nge-refresh juga. Tapi Riddle hanya nge-tap semata dan Boom Esports memilih untuk bermain dengan kuantitas Prowler nge-reveal. Dan Yatsuka buta total. Fate dikeluarkan juga dengan Haunt-nya, namun masih bertahan untuk lebih lama lagi dari Riddle. Dan mereka berhasil untuk reposition. Tapi Boom Esports masih belum muncul dari balik smoke-nya. They're taking too much time to go out. Headshot yang pernah bisa memenangkan match-nya atau round-nya. Dan sekarang angka perdana untuk para serigala.
Oh no, itu adalah sebuah round yang dimenangkan namun belum ada ketenangan yang terlihat dari sisi Bumi Sports. Bukanlah ronde yang bisa lu banggakan, bukanlah ronde yang akan meyakinkan para fansnya untuk masuk ke ronde-ronde berikutnya. Tapi nice hold dari TSU dan juga berserk di seaside. Tapi menurut gue di 3 lawan 2 ini terlalu shaky.
Bahkan tadi 4 lawan 2.
Dan sebenarnya masih ada satchel.
Benar.
Lu menang orang, lu masih punya satchel. Entah kenapa apa yang dipertimbangkan terlalu lama membuang waktu. Itu kalau misalkan tadi tembakannya Ace, hit lagi ke arong yang kedua, itu mungkin bisa the whole different story. Sekarang Soldam terikat, terkena kongkeng. Nate-nya ternyata gak kena. Agak terlalu ke pinggir. Masih belum ada korban sejauh ini. Tapi kalau lihat dari pembelian Bumi Sports, ada 2 guardian di tangan NC Slasher dan juga ZSView. Sementara Riddle full buy around pertama mereka. Wall up, 3 pemain coba menyambut Ciro. Through the smoke. Jojo tumbang. Sekarang Blue memiliki keunggulan jumlah pemain dah. Bahkan Soldam ke tag ke 42 HP.
Sangat-sangat low untuk kaliber seorang Soldam. Jojo pun hilang, tidak ada scan dalam bentuk apapun. Tapi Yatsuka masih punya full utility. Dan Bumi Sports, mereka bermain dengan senjata bekas round sebelumnya. Di 3 pemain tersisa tadi, bahkan 2 pemain. Dan Riddle masih menahan gasnya. Masih direm dan stun masuk. Shiro gagal untuk langsung menerima para pemain Riddle. Dan Famous keluar di waktu yang salah. Tapi SC Slasher mencari yang ketiga namun belum bisa mendapatkannya. Spike drop tercancel. Tapi replant akan dilakukan. KD dan juga Ace. 1 pemain datang dari arah drop, yaitu Berserk yang masih memancing para pemain Riddle untuk keluar. Tapi Ace berani, smoke dilemparkan. Ace counter smoke dan Berserk akan creeping dari balik smoke tersebut. Tapi ada Zesbio yang juga sama halnya bermain dan berdansa dengan kematian. Tapi siapa yang akan mati pertama? Perfect flash tapi no follow up. Dan Riddle will get the round. 3-1 Bumi Sports. Cakar mereka dipatahkan seketika.
Ini yang gue bilang di late roundnya entah kenapa Bumi Sport tuh terlalu lama untuk membuat keputusan, terlalu ragu untuk berbuat sesuatu. Gue nggak tahu apa yang ada di benak mereka, tapi terlihat banyak ketidakyakinan yang tercipta dari gerakan-gerakan pemain Bumi Sport. Dan juga terlalu disoriented terlihatnya. Terlalu kering, terlalu simple. Oke, kalah tembak nggak masalah, tapi begitu tinggal 2 lawan 2. Tidak ada kepercayaan diri di sana yang terlihat. 1-3 sekarang skor sementara. 2 baki di tangan, tapi Soldam punya overdrive juga. Mungkin ini menjadi bumerang, tapi Hound jatuh di tempat yang sepertinya salah. Dan belum ada impact yang terlihat. Sementara dari sisi lain, one way di arah Simon. Sehingga akan ada informasi yang cukup early didapatkan oleh Zesview. Sementara itu, Tri yang mungkin akan menjadi tempat eksekusi bagi Riddle. 4 pemain menunggu di sana. Sudah mudah ke taker. 68 HP. Slasher bermain dekat dengan Sheriff. Hound tidak mendetek siapapun. Tapi KD juga bisa bantu NT dengan adanya not dead yet. Tapi ternyata Riddle memilih untuk bergerak mundur ke belakang.
Ya, masih menahan mereka. Benar-benar bermain sabar. Dan kalau side-nya Zesview diserang, ini apes banget. Cuma punya klasik. Dan bahkan tanpa flash, tapi smoke-nya dikeluarkan. Langsung shrouded step dia. 2 baki ini mau. Yang bisa menjadi pentolannya. Masalahnya Riddle akan langsung tancap gas. Soldam masuk, Zesview masih menggocek. Tapi dia habis. Dan di depannya ada satu pemain. Shiro menyelip masuk ke dalam smoke dan Spike akan di-plant. Shiro is still there surviving. Dapetin kill pula. Tapi langsung di-refrag. Soldam low HP. Famousin pun sama halnya, tapi dia berhasil menjarah 1 buah assist. Langsung line up untuk Riddle. 1 melawan 4 berserks. Impossible.
Impossible. Baki di tangan. HP penuh memang. Util penuh. Tapi apa yang bisa dilakukan? Keluar kepala dikit udah pasti disambut 2 pemain. Arcade dan juga Soldam. 6 HP tetaplah player yang bisa nembak. Tapi sepertinya safe. Lebih tepatnya hemat senjata. Soldam nggak mau sampai senjatanya harus drop di ronde yang kali ini. Dan artinya Riddle membangun perekonomian dengan baik untuk round-round berikutnya di first half ini. Bumi Sports gua harus bilang sangat tidak meyakinkan.
Ya, agak sedikit shaky menurut gua di 5 round pertama. Sementara Riddle, mereka tahu betul.
Dan sebenarnya ya,
protokolnya.
di situasi kayak gitu sebenarnya tuh adalah apa ya, impact dari sebuah crowd akan sangat dibutuhkan di posisi kalah.
Benar.
Di posisi menang, tim gak akan butuh-butuh amat untuk teriakan-teriakan nyerakin nama lu. Tapi ketika lagi kalah, disitulah player ke-6 alias crowd itu akan mendapatkan impact terbesarnya.
Benar. Player ke-6, mana suaranya player ke-6?
Crowd. Big player.
Dan Bumi Sports sayangnya player ke-6 tidak bisa masuk dalam server.
Ya.
Hanya ada 5 pemain yang harus bertanggung jawab kepada tim ini. Setelah Famousin mendapatkan 1 buah showstopper yang akan sangat-sangat beneficial. Sementara NC Slasher ada 1 buah haunt. Ataupun lebih tepatnya Nightfall. Dan ini dia protokol yang diubah oleh Boom. Mereka langsung ambil kendali cuma-cuma. Dan Riddle, mereka tahu betul bahwa A side atau A label nggak bisa dikontes. Jadi ya udah, kita langsung execute ke B. Apakah Boom akan siap dengan execute B ini, Mal?
Ini udah ada 3 pemain sebenarnya yang bisa tektokan utility. Apalagi Famousin punya showstopper. Ini mungkin udah hal yang diperhitungkan oleh Riddle. Akan coba bantu sliding in. Dari Soldam menuju ke railing. Santri dahulu tapi ada counter flash. Soldam dalam posisi yang sangat maju tapi Famousin melempar showstopper ke arah yang tidak ada orang di sana. KD masih survive dengan not dead ya, tapi Bumi Sport membalas balik. 3 lawan 4 sekarang Ace lurking. Dan planting terjadi di arah seaside. Retake yang tidak menguntungkan ke arah Bumi Sports. Dan mereka kekurangan jumlah anggota dan Yatska di posisi krusial bisa menggunakan Rolling Thunder. Pertanyaan sekarang di sini ada di Bumi Sports. Apakah mereka akan coba try atau akan mundur ke belakang?
Mereka akan nge-chance hal ini. Tentunya Zesview dan NC Slasher yang harus berpegang erat. Headshotnya datang ke arah NC Slasher, tapi Zesview yang masih coba untuk bertahan tidak lebih lama lagi. Jojo yang akan menutup halaman ke-6. Dan round ke-5 datang kepada pelukan Riddle Order. Bu.
Ini dia.
Itu crowd udah dukung lu pada loh. Ayolah.
Disitulah yang gue bilang. Ketika tim lagi menang, siapapun bisa bersorak-sorai.
Benar.
Siapapun. Tapi hanya orang-orang tertentu, hanya negara tertentu yang ketika timnya lagi kalah masih bisa bersorak-sorai. Dan gue pengen ada buktinya di sini. Apakah worth it Ascension diadain di Jakarta ataukah hanya sampai sini aja perjalanan Jakarta di event internasional? Semua tergantung semua kepala yang ada di sini. Time out dikelola oleh Bumi Sports karena gue juga ngerasa mereka sangat butuh penyegaran dan mungkin mereka juga butuh mendengar teriakan-teriakan dari player ke-6 mereka.
Bernyanyilah, bersuaralah untuk mereka yang berjuang dan untuk event-event yang akan
Dia retak yang
datang
balon.
di masa
Soalnya
depan.
sebelumnya tuh gua nggak ngikutin
Jakarta
yang ini,
deserves
tapi kayak
another
pas
one.
gua nonton nobar
Dan kalau kita ngomongin back to the game, Riddle benar-benar mendikte. Mereka tahu cara untuk counter push Bumi Esports, terlalu suka untuk kalah di duel-duel yang sebenarnya menguntungkan mereka. 4 melawan 4 yang awalnya 4 melawan 3 tiba-tiba menjadi 2 melawan 3. Mereka nggak aware sama adanya ultimate yang meng-enable adanya rotasi cepat, dan itu yang sebenarnya kecolongan dari Bumi Esports. Mungkin mereka mau fight secara agresif kontrolnya ke arah Riddle tadi benar-benar dikacangin sama Riddle. Jadi mereka harus bisa untuk membaca pattern Riddle.
Gua ngerasa Bumi Sports main tuh kayak serigala yang kaki kanannya dirantai, kaki depannya dirantai, lehernya lagi pengen dipenggal, tau nggak? Gak ada kebebasan bermain di sana, gak ada kepercayaan diri. Menurut gua taktikal ini penting banget untuk ngelepas rantai-rantai itu, dan gua pengen banget ngeliat adanya kepercayaan diri. Mau menang kalah tapi gua pengen lihat swing yang pede, gua pengen lihat ada tektokan, entry retake yang percaya diri, dan itu yang belum terlihat di 6 round ke belakang. Jojo sekarang jadi first contact bagi Riddle. Mereka akan condong menuju ke arah side. Sekali lagi 3 orang selalu ada di side, tapi tidak pernah adanya stronghold yang terjadi. Entah karena memang utility yang terlalu bagus atau karenanya tidak pernah perang bareng. Rolling Thunder sekarang dibuka menuju ke arah backside. 2 pemain akan coba dikejar. Baki kill ke arah Soldam, tapi Anti-Slicer membalas dengan klasik. View miss the shot, tapi datang Zero dari stairs. 3 lawan 3, Soldam masih dengan overdrive. Ternyata karena spike drop, tempo akan sedikit menurun. Mungkin akan menunggu smoke ini sampai ada. Dan Bumi Esports menunggu sampai terjadi planting.
Timing is everything. Untuk momen seperti ini ada 2 senjata yang possibly bisa mengubah jalur round ini, mengubah takdir mereka. Untuk round-round ke depan, Spike sudah di ping, Soldam akan ke swing, dan di waktu yang bersamaan View terperangkap di cengkeraman Ace. Dan triple kill Riddle. Tidak dengan kerisauan. Bumi Esports masih tersungkur. Terpaut 5 angka. Sulit sekali untuk bisa keluar dari cage yang sudah dibangun oleh Riddle. Order di saat mereka bisa menangin trade-nya, di saat mereka 3 melawan 3, pergerakannya terkesan tidak sinkron. Tiba-tiba Sergio keluar seorang diri, mungkin oke. Dia kena stun, unlucky. Tapi tiba-tiba swing-nya benar-benar tidak sempurna, dan bahkan last spray to smoke didapatkan tadi oleh Ace.
Karena adanya Rolling Thunder tadi, di late round-nya masih punya stun dari Neon.
Iya.
Dan mungkin itu hal yang tidak disangka-sangka, tapi View dari balik pintu menyambut Soldam. First blood didapatkan. Tidak ada ultimate yang berarti dari sisi Riddle. Tapi lu bisa lihat map control yang didapatkan oleh Riddle. Gak dapat depan B. Mereka udah nginjak ke arah Simon ya. Small door cukup menarik untuk dilalui. Jojo mencuri pintu dan keluar. Dia di dalam smoke. Tidak ada trade cepat datang. Sampai akhirnya Jasview menyambut Zero pun memenangkan duel di arah B-side. 4 lawan 2. Mungkin inilah momentum yang dibutuhkan oleh Bumi Esports. C-side-nya dimainkan retake. Ada alarm bot dan juga Killjoy setup dari Berserk.
4 lawan 2, there is no way they slip off. Sementara Yatsuka akan melakukan planting. Retake dimainkan mengingat kuantitas masih ada. Tapi tergelincir adalah kata yang tidak ingin mereka lakukan. Bumi Esports datang bergerombol. Layaknya serigala yang sedang berburu. Mereka lapar. Mereka ingin berpesta, tapi sepertinya Riddle memberikan posisi yang sangat-sangat suspicious. Di balik smoke ini ada Ace, dan mereka nge-swing seorang diri, tapi Berserk berhasil nge-refrag. 1 lawan 3, Yatsuka kill! Double swing yang sempurna. Bumi Esports menyudahi puasa mereka.
Akhirnya buka puasa. Terdengar kembali sorak-sorai nama tim yang sedari tadi terbungkam.
Pengen nonton cuman
Alright.
We hear you.
Ya. 1 orang tadi loh teriak, tapi kedengeran ke seluruh penjuru stadion dari Britama Arena. 2-6 sekarang. Mungkin bisa jadi sebuah harapan baru untuk memulai round yang baru. Akan ada skill match di depan B-main. 3 pemain killer scan, no way!
Allah, tiga-tiganya kenapa
Mutilasi terjadi. 3 pemain hilang tanpa balasan. 2 lawan 5 sekarang, smoke out. Tertunduk lemah sudah Barter dan juga ZSBU. Entah apa yang terjadi dengan ketiga rekannya di B-main. Seakan tidak ada kesempatan untuk hidup. Ace menang duelnya lagi. My god, this guy is unstoppable. ZSBU sendirian, tanpa kawan. Dan mungkin gue bisa lihat tanpa harapan untuk round ini. Angka ke-7 harusnya dipastikan oleh Riddle.
Lone Wolf standing alone. Mendapatkan kill, tapi tidak untuk roundnya. Dan untuk round ini, sepertinya ZSBU harus menyerah. Dikejar dia, diburu dia, pemburu menjadi diburu sekarang. ZSBU masih akan mencoba untuk bertahan lebih lama lagi, tapi sepertinya ajal akan menjemput. Dan ZSBU tidak bisa berdiri jauh lebih lama. Dan Riddle order, mereka semakin memunggungi para pemain Boom Esports. Benar-benar jauh sekarang, gap 5 angka, execute design yang gua ngerti sebenarnya. Plan-nya adalah untuk ngasih elemen of surprise karena memang Boom nggak pernah executein B-nya sama sekali. Mereka nggak pernah mainin mini games di arah B-side. Tapi respons dari Riddle order benar-benar bagus banget tadi.
Masalahnya dari Riddle udah siap pegang util, sementara
Ya.
gak siap dengan adanya scare miss tersebut. Mereka pengen main kayak gini nih. Main kontak pelan dulu, orang depannya buka angle segala macam, tapi Riddle seakan-akan tahu apa yang terjadi. Riddle membaca. Begitu mudahnya terbaca. Benar-benar terbaca sedemikian rupa. Terpaku ke dalam kesunyian. Adalah ZSBU yang tertinggal sekali lagi, kehilangan 4 rekannya. Sang Lone Wolf kembali harus survive. Sang Predator yang diburu. Sang puncak rantai makanan yang seakan menjadi produsen untuk dimakan oleh Predator yang lebih besar. Riddle sekali lagi sepertinya akan mencari keberadaan ZSBU.
The hunter becomes the hunted. Dan sepertinya ZSBU hanya dengan klasik kali ini akan berkorban untuk mencari exit frag. Menemukan 1 kill potential, tapi KD untungnya bisa reposition. Low HP tidak menjadi masalah karena dia masih survive, tapi tidak untuk ZSBU. 28. Kalau gue boleh jujur Mal, ini udah masuk danger zone.
Wah, kalau lu mau ngomong danger zone ya, sebenarnya dari 5 ronde. Jujur dari 5 ronde gue udah ngerasa danger zone.
Iya.
Something's bad is coming. Tapi ternyata itu terbukti semakin nyata ke depannya. Kayaknya sudah 20 kill.
Seorang diri?
Harusnya gue nggak salah lihat. 20 kill.
This map of Lotus into something that's absolutely scary to play against inside of Ascension.
That's right, Bilski. 2 rounds left in the half as well. And look at this sudden switch up in the strats, straight into B. And then Solem just keeps going. A little bit of contact outside the C. And of course, Kaide has the ultimate, so comes back in. Zero puts the angle down, gets a quick triple. Yatsuka in for a bit of a trade. And then into the B site again. Riddle, they are just so smooth. Soldam with yet another kill. It's all down to Berserks. Can he go crazy right now? Unfortunately, no. Yatsuka, the clutch monster from Riddle, strikes again.
Just couldn't convert that 2-on-2. Even catching the fade with util in hand, despite the fact that, boom, Shiro goes absolutely ballistic there, and he had a phenomenal game on the Viper versus DSG, versus Nows as well. He had some fantastic timings. So he has really been a massive performer here for Boom, particularly on the defensive side of the map. But really, it's just not been coming together for the rest of the team today. They've got 5 ults heading into the last round of the half. Maybe they could try to scrape a 3rd round together, but I love that from Riddle. That's how you want to use the Clove when you've got the ultimate. Not dead yet.
On the offensive. That said, though, Boom does have 5 ultimates in this very last round of the first half, Pilski. They can do so much with it, but... Like the angle. angles, anticipating a B hit once more.
I mean, will they even have the opportunity to? That's the thing. You're going to get the showstopper straight through the door, the Nightfall as well, but it's a complete disengage from Riddle Order.
They've completely outread this Pilski. They are falling back. Those ultimates, they're all gone away.
And going back to plan B again, despite the fact that Boom throws multiple ults at them. It's the Rolling Thunder just to be able to keep Boom at arm's length. Riddle Order now completely resetting, slowing things back down and going back into this more default formation we've seen a couple of times, walking up A. The Killjoy is here with the lockdown. Shiro can deploy the pit in the back of the site. It's going to be very hard to break for Riddle Order.
There it is, instantly down. Keeps Riddle Order away. Soldam is 1 point away from his overdrive though. But
nice!
brings back the off angle from NC Slasher. Good adaptation from Boom, but is it enough? Jojo and Ace, they fire back. The flank watch is still always there. Ace, he has been popping off, and he's looking to pop off again.
B-side's open. Shiro trying to come out of the pit. Where are they going to end up? 20 seconds on the clock. Zespi's got the From the Shadows to reposition, but Boom are giving Riddle Order a lot of space right now.
Trying to check for a little bit of it as well with the From the Shadows on Zesp. Clearly a B plant, and they're trying to surround the site.
Paranoia's there, sees the aftershock keeping them back, and inside the smoke, Yatsuka could be key here.
Oh my. A slow Paranoia out from Ace as well, all the way through pillars. Zesp tries to play along with it. Paranoia out from the doors. Zesp takes down Ace, but here comes Yatsuka. Oh, taken down by Berserks! It's all down to Jojo. Can he do it? Two angles back to back. Tries to spray it through, but Zesp gets the hit shot instead. It's gonna be a 9-3 first half. Boom! Trying to recover.
Doing whatever they can, trying to avoid those ghosts of the past that haunt them from last year's Ascension. Capped out at top 4. They want to be able to win this tournament and show that a full Indonesian squad can actually do something and make their way in towards Ascension Pacific rather than just some standout individuals getting picked up here and there. It's undeniable that Indonesia has talent, but can they actually make it work with a fully Indonesian squad?
I mean, they've been in this position before, Pilski. Last year, Ascension 2023, boom. They had to face off against opponents like Bleed in the playoffs, and it just struggled. They just struggled with it so much. They definitely do not want to feel that feeling, that painful loss again. It starts with this map. It starts with this hat.
Yeah, it's got to be a massive comeback. You can hear the energy from the fans. The drums are going hard here in Jakarta. Boom needs every ounce of that energy that they can get because this series has not started the way that they would have wanted. But what I will say for Boom, very low lows, and that's what we're seeing right here in this game against Riddle Order. This has not started well, don't get me wrong, but they've had some phenomenal games as well. They dominated Nows, and my question coming into today was, which Boom are we going to get? Are they Lanimals? Are they going to be the beast that wakes up on land? Or are they going to be, you know, that dog inside the house that, you know, the burglar comes and he says, hello, how you doing? Give you a nice little pat. Let me just grab your TV and chuck that in my car.
Oh, man. You definitely don't want that hungry beast.
They're looking a little sleepy today, unfortunately, Quack. And they need to wake up now because there is not much time in this elimination series to be messing around like they have been.
It's that logo from Riddle Order. It's making them think that this intruder's friendly.
True. Comes in with a smile and steals your spot at Ascension. Unfortunate.
It could happen. That's the scariest thing right now in this moment. Of course, it's a 9-3, potentially a comeback for Boom, but how will they fare out in this pistol? You were talking about which Boom are we going to get. So far, hasn't looked the greatest.
Yeah.
We wonder how consistent they can be on the attack, perhaps. That's where Famous gets a chance to shine.
So, Force exchange, spotting out Ace, Riddle Order, hiding inside. There's a little A-trap here with the fault line ready to go, and Boom are slowly walking into this.
For Crossfire, Soldam got his eyes trained onto that other angle.
Boom definitely senses that something is up. They're in absolutely no hurry to be making their way through the map, and they don't like the way that A feels right now. Shiro being left behind, being dropped off on the lurk to see if he can find the timing with that Viper Wall later on, but the rest of Boom behind this one way are getting ready to Paranoia C Mound and make their way into C here.
Throwing out some of those smokes as well from Riddle. Boom. Now footsteps outside of Mound. Kaide hears it all. Calls it to his team as well, but no commitment.
Boom has denied a lot of info, but that's where you see the movements of Ace. He's reading this round very well. He's re-cleared A, and that's allowing a massive rotation towards B and C.
And they're doing it carefully, slowly as well. Now here it comes. Into the site, yes. But where's the rest of the squad? Solent tries to hold the off angle. Jojo will do it instead. Famous makes a trade off onto the other side. Kylie now with the right. It's his sight. He's got a classic, and he's making it work. Reloads in with the pick me up. He tries to use the movement to the advantage, but it's going to be NC Slasher and Zespi to cut him down.
Yatsika, he's repositioning, making his way back to spawn. Boom, it's very losable for them. 2 low HP players.
Have they heard him? It seems as though they have. The smoke coming up just at the right time. NC Slasher marks the angle, right clicks perfectly, square on into his torso.
Boom, breaking through a very difficult sight hold there. Ace with the perfect push in the mid-round, gathering all of that information over on the A side of the map, allowed Riddle to have 4 players ready to hold that site when Kaide was getting warmed up with the pick-me-up, playing against Clove on a pistol round. Clove, Reyna, both of those agents being able to go to 150 HP is absolute nightmare fuel to play against sometimes. But Boom was able to navigate their way through that. Like you said, they were very cautious, working their way through the map, trying to feel out what Riddle Order was doing. And it pays off in spades. Now they've got a lifeline back into this game. Pistol, the first step of many that will be needed. We need a clean anti-eco here. Good bonus, and they can try to recover some of this scoreline deficit. They've dug themselves a very deep hole, but they're starting to get a bit of a foothold. They're starting to scramble their way back out of it.
Yeah, Pilski, it's looking very likely as well. I mean, look at the intentional rifle buy on 4 of the Boom players. They want to mount this comeback. Riddle, interestingly enough, 1-4 split.
See Boom even just baiting out every trap possible. They do not want to get hit with a paranoia, fault line, paint shells, relay bolt, that kind of thing. Sorry, no paint shells. I'm so used to the rays on this map. That's what you're expecting. But even we've seen the power of the neon trap plays that SPG's been showing over C Mound. You get hit with a recon bolt, and the neon can just slide in and steal everything from you.
Right around the door.
Yeah, Shiro being the money man here. He's only got a sheriff. If he goes down, it's not the biggest of issues.
It's enough information. That's the main thing, Pilski, and that's going to be the entry into the C site for Boom. They've got to hold on to these rifles long enough.
The pretty, a little bit of a numbers disadvantage. Nice open plant. Boom with a couple key pieces of util. The paranoia and the paint shells could be key here.
Hold on to it, but still pushing out into Mound. They thought it's going to be the rotating door play. A Riddle instead, but Boom are on top of it. The shot from NC Slasher and Famous. They are back into the game. Ace trying to rotate back in through Waterfall, trying to stay hidden. Zespi just marks it perfectly. A couple of Guardian shots and Boom, come back in.
Very well done. Keeping the economy nice and steady, only losing the 1 rifle. Little by little, Boom are closing that gap.
It's
going to be down to this round. The gap might have closed, but if they can pick up this round, convert the bonus, that is going to pull them back in.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of teams having massive runs of rounds in a row off the back of some bonus conversions in this tournament, even some eco wins, things like that. So round 2 and 3, not a foregone conclusion, definitely not here at Ascension. There's that A main control coming in for Riddle Order. The C's combo. Gonna control that, but look at the setup towards C Mound. Riddle Order fighting for the extremities, but Boom are not interested. They've left Berserks behind over here towards C, sitting in the one-way. They're playing that 1-3-1, and they're clearing out front B. I'm keen to see if they're actually gonna execute B here, or if they're gonna crunch into C Mound through the door.
Thinking about it. A lot of smokes into the B site suggests that it will be that B site hit instead. And maybe setting up for Berserks to come with the flag. Beautiful. And he takes down Soldem as well. Now looking onto him, he spotted out Yatsuka's head. Yatsuka trying to fire back the flashpoint to fend off any oncoming targets. And he manages to take down Berserks. Now into the site. It's going to be Jojo. Trying to play around Baby Door. You've got Boom players up around Heaven.
Yeah, Boom are flipping the maps. SB being left behind in towards main. Needs to try to do what he can here.
Yatsuka. He knows, he feels something is off. There's someone inside of the smoke. Famous able to take down Jojo now. The timing on Ace's peak once again. He comes back in through. Paranoia out into the site. Boom still trying to stay tucked away. Ace manages to take down NC Slasher. Now a stun onto Famous. He wants to peek out, but he can't. Ace has got to stay targeted. It's going to be the kill.
There's no time.
Unfortunately, we're out of time. The round still to Boom.
Boom winning the bonus. Famous doing just enough, diving out of the heaven smoke and taking that Riddle Order player off of the defuse. These are the steps that Boom needed to make to come back into this half. The crowd is now rallying behind them. Bit of an oversight there for Riddle. Weren't ready for Berserks on that lurk there, but that was the key kill to secure everything. A very tense exchange in that round, but a bonus win is undoubtedly huge for Boom. And now here's a chance for them to continue building an absolutely mammoth economy on this attacking side, and that's exactly what they need to try to win this game at Lotus.
The Odin being pulled out. Boom, they've got everything going right for them. They're starting to feel that momentum. Kaede trying to play on the other side of smoke. Unfortunately, not able to track through mid-air. Shiro takes him down. Now into the side. Ace starts off with a great shot. Jojo on the other side as well. Soldan coming in with a bit of a flank too. Although he's 1 HP, still not discouraged. Berserk straight through, and that's gonna be down to Zesby. NC Slasher with a shot as well. Soldan only good for 1. Boom! On to 7 rounds.
They continue passing the test every single time. And that is a very different looking scoreline than what we saw in that first half. Boom flipping the narrative. Had a monstrous defensive half against TSG previously. Now over on the attacking side, where they have a little bit more agency, where they can be a bit more assertive here against Riddle Order. They are starting to warm themselves up and take control of this game.
On the flip side, Riddle starting to wobble a little bit. They're trying to figure out how they can come back into this game.
A main control for Boom. They've got the lockdown. Huge tool for them to be able to open up one of these sites, put themselves into an accelerated afterflat. Famous also, one off the showstopper could be absolutely key if he's able to farm an orb or be able to actually make something happen in the mid-round with that ultimate at the right timing.
Position for Kyrie too. So even though they've got a bit of information now, they have to worry about Boom and all of the ultimates that they could pick up.
Boom has cleared C now. There's the showstopper for Famous. What are they going to open up the round with here? With the smoke getting deployed, I really prefer the lockdown to slowly clear out this site, to start to make their way through this smoke early on. Yeah, you can see Riddle Order were thinking about trying to crunch through the door, but they don't quite have the right timing on the rotations for that. So we're going to end up in a 5v5 after plan. And in goes Famous to Waterfall, zoning them back.
He's getting splashed though. Famous waiting up for it. Soldan 1 point away from the overdrive. He has it ready and he's thinking about it. Riddle, they have the sights around it. The showstopper not quite connecting to anything. Famous though, still holding down the end. Gets the shot into Jojo. NC Slasher and Shiro from the other side chiming in. Ace, can he clutch this out? I don't think so. Still trying to peek in. Look at the triple stack. High-low setups.
Boom are giving him nothing.
Rallying in behind them.
Tapi diciduk dari belakang.
Not giving them an inch, not even a mile. Famous up from behind. Ace takes him down. Wants to hold on to his rifle, trying to be that beacon of hope for Riddle Order.
Boom just crushing the sights right now. The lockdown was absolutely key there. Opens up the entirety of C. Able to flush Riddle Order back. You could tell they wanted to be able to make something happen in through the door. You know, they've got this comp where if they can actually get the Prowler forward, get some breach util, and find a nice timing to actually engage Boom before they get rolling too much, before they get too much space, then that's where they can actually make something happen in this round. But so far, they've been out of position quite a lot. Boom have been finding some great timings, and more importantly, they've been very resilient in these XBXs. The post plants have been phenomenal from them. They've been playing forward. They've been trying to be assertive. You saw the showstopper right off the rip. The overdrive comes out from Soldem. He's already making his way through the flank. Already in through defense form, but Boom is on aim.
Yeah, they just keep barreling through Soldem with the overdrive. They hear it, they know it's all too clear. Shiro with a kill into the site.
Trying to open up the door. The Sheriff's starting to sing a little bit, but Boom are still clearly on top, and they've got full heaven control right now.
The 2 clears from Riddle Order coming through the major door. It's up to Jojo with the Vandal. Good little shot into Berserks. But can he do even more? The Prowler just to check and clear. NC Slasher tries to peek out a little bit too wide. Yatsuka takes him down. Famous and Zesby now.
They're going for it.
Keep themselves on the site. The Rolling Thunder from Yatsuka. Zesby with such a great angle on the Shroud steps. They might not expect this. Jojo spots him out, but a little bit too late. Zesby down. Famous on the other side. It's gonna be Boom tying up the score, and the crowd goes wild.
The cracks are starting to show here for Riddle. Getting very concerned about them. 6 in a row on attack here for Boom. Riddle order forced to take a timeout. They do not have an answer for this attacking side. Boom playing this comp exactly how you'd want to be seeing it played. This Fade is doing phenomenal, clearing the map. Prowlers forward in towards rubble or on the extremities towards Mount, and once they take that space, they use it as a launching pad to take the site. And once they're in there, Riddle can't push them out.
It seems, Pilsky, that Boom has found their appetite, and they are not letting go. They've gotten a great group hold onto Riddle, or they've chopped down, and they're not letting up.
They were a little slow to start. Not everyone's hungry first thing in the morning, you know. I started slow with a bit of a coffee.
Yeah, that's Boom's CEO in the crowd as well. He's smiling from ear to ear.
Yeah, mate. I'd love to see the cam on him in the first half, but yeah, definitely started to get a little happier. Thanks, production. Doing him a lot of favors there. To be fair, Indonesia production team, so they're probably trying to avoid the tears a little bit more if possible.
You have to admit the fact, right? Especially for these two Riddle fans. Boom are a tough opponent to face in this Britama arena. Still gracious though. Still cheering up their opposing team. Riddle. Let's see what they've cooked up for us.
Well, look, honestly, the way I see it, great first half. Lots of multi-frags from Ace. Hard carry performance on the Omen. Where's the rest of Riddle order? Right now against Boom. Boom, everyone's getting warmed up. You're seeing each player chipping in right now. But Ace, 26 and 10. The rest of the boys need to step up here on defense because Boom is definitely outclassing them as a unit. It can't just be one individual versus a unit, you know?
Definitely trying to think about it too. Soldem has been a little bit quiet ever since that first half. Trying to find some of these openings.
Fresh on the dark cover. Boom want to go back and retake this A control. It's just JoJo over here solo. Wants to try to see what he can find. If he can find a peek. Forward goes Famous off the back of the Paranoia and the Prowler, and JoJo can't make it out. Famous getting warmed up, finding an opening kill. This is a win condition for Boom on the attacking side. No doubt about it.
Great adaptations, that's what it is. I mean, previously it has been the C side for Boom, now onto A, and they've managed to crack it open.
Yeah, you can see Soldem thinking about going through the smoke. They weren't ready for the timing. Zesby finally puts him down, and the rest of Riddle order continue to push the issue. Berserk's on the flank though. Zesby from the shadows to the other side of the map, and Berserk's in the perfect position.
But it's going to be the ultimate. Kaide's not dead yet, and Zesby holds down the plant on the C site.
Kaide gets the kill. He can now continue to push forward in this round, and it's a 2-on-1 for Riddle order, and Zesby 25 HP, trying to use the timing, trying to use the element of surprise, but you can see Yatsuka's ready for it.
He's going to keep himself hidden away. He's got to rotate very carefully, not to make single peep. Now turning off to the backside, but Yatsuka, unfortunately, he's not ready for it. It's down to it. Kaide trying to find him back, and he will! The spray down, it connects, and Riddle finds the lead.
Very key for Kaide. Wait. He needs to get on it. Okay, don't make sure.
Yeah,
I saw Famous get off it earlier this tournament, and then it came down to 0.5. There was lots of time there. So I'm panicking for no reason. Beautiful round for Kaide, though, on the Clove. Riddle order was down and out. They've been pushing these smokes with the double controller all game long. It was working a treat for them on attack. They were playing inside of the dark covers, inside of the Clove smokes to disrupt the retake for Boom on attack. That time, diving through the Hobbit hole. A link straight in towards a lobby works out perfectly for Riddle. And Kaide, someone that had also a slow start in their game against Naus, I believe it was, really started to turn things around and have a lot of impact.
Now pushing it through. I mean, you were talking about it. We're looking for some of the Riddle players to step up. Soldem tries to do it. Kaide has done it. Where's the rest of the team now? They are still looking to position themselves on the other side of the door.
Both teams really fighting over this A space. You can tell Riddle wants to pull the trigger and continue to fight. They're just inches away from Boom right now, but they can't find the right angle of approach.
They're being blocked off. They're trying to use their duck cover to segregate the site. Maybe find some bit more space to sneak in.
behind the Viper wall right now. Spike getting
Oh,
tapped.
wow.
Ace applying the pressure and TPing down onto site now.
It's gonna be the pit though.
Oh,
And
nice.
Slasher in with the Odin. Good little shout out to Ace. Shuts down the star player for Riddle so far. Now looking around the extremities.
Oh,
It's
nice,
gonna be
nice.
Zesby
Oh.
trying to cut them
Oh,
off.
yeah,
Shot
yeah,
on the
yeah.
flank. NC Slasher, he peeks out.
Oh.
It's gonna be the spray. The rifle, the sounds. It's all too
Yeah, that's
loud.
it.
Riddle feels the pressure.
He just whips out the garden hose and lets it rip. Sprays them all down through the Viper ult with the Odin. Incredibly key round from NC Slasher. He's had some phenomenal performances so far in this tournament. Switching up his role between, you know, the flashing agents, the info in it and the flash in it. And in this case on the fade, being able to have some impact on the Odin, especially in a awkward situation like that. Evening things up now, 10 apiece. Boom once again. Taking control of A main. Ace trying to be the hero for Riddle Order. A glass cannon, a light armor Vandal that he's forced up into this round. Riddle Order have taken all of this B main space, ready with a B trap. Ace solo on the A site. We'll see how much he can get done here.
I gotta particularly anticipate a bit of a flank watch as well. But here comes Famous.
Oh, it's too easy.
Ace, he just couldn't see anything. Now off to the next, it's gonna be Riddle Order trying to push on through, trying to rotate, but look at Boom.
They just don't have the guns. They don't have the positions. Despite the fact that Ace was in a decent position, he just gets paranoid off the line, instantly taken out by the showstopper. Boom continuing to hold forward on the site in through tree and try to deny this retake attempt from Riddle Order.
Still though, any damage is good damage for Riddle. He's playing with the shorties, maybe a couple more kills. Yatska, he has
Oh,
Vandal.
oh, nice.
Great little slide through Famous tracks. It's gonna be Yatska who trades. Now down to a 2-on-2. A sudden round made very doable for Riddle Order because of Yatska. Pushes in a little
Oh.
Berserks. He goes rage mode.
He's full stunned. You're not supposed to do that. It's a cosmetic stun. Quack through a smoke.
It does not matter. The Berserker is here. And the crowd just rallying behind this one round that could potentially put them into match point, Pilski.
That was only the half buy though. Ace is going to be a little poorer here. He'll probably have to go back down to a Guardian or something like that. Onto the Judge from B actually. And get pushed off the line. Doesn't deal with the Prowler. Doesn't want to reveal that he has a Judge once again. Boom have taken A main, pushed Soldan back. It's a different wall this time. In towards front side of B instead of across A. That could allow Boom to pivot back to B in the mid round.
Trying to keep their options open, right? But Riddle Order, they've got to adapt around this.
They push them back off of A once again. Boom retaking that rubble control. In the meantime, though, Riddle Order have taken all of C Mount. They're disrupting front B. Boom is going to have to use this util to retake some space, but they've got almost nothing left. No Boom bot, no Prowlers, no Paranoia. They're going to have to dry contact their way through the map.
Got some paint shells at the very least. Down onto Kaede, who is dealing so much pressure in this moment. One kill, perhaps making up, but Berserk denies it outright.
You have to get something there. You had the fault line to set you up, and he still goes 0 for 1. Riddle Order, they're panicking. They're full rotating over towards the seaside of the map. But Boom are not interested. Straight back towards B. It's an open site for them and an easy afterplant.
Oh no, how is Riddle gonna retake this? It's all been blocked off. Angles being marked. Pilski.
Ace has just got a Judge. Like, he's got to take this duel in Hobbit Hole with Famous. This could be critical here. And Famous puts him down so easily. They just can't get in.
Now into one spot side. So that's through, but NC Slash in with the Odin. Yatska able to trade back. Jojo with the sudden double on the other side of the door. Sesame smokes him off. Wants to keep him away. Still just trying to hold down the angle. Yatska now. Sudden peek out for Famous is going to trade down. And there's Sesame. The stinger.
They were down and out, Quack. 3-9 at the half. This attacking half has been incredible. Boom needed the energy of the crowd. Very slow to start here. Inconsistent all tournament long, but they are making it happen.
It's the energy,
Boom,
and they are
spot.
feeding
Boom,
off of it,
spot.
Pilski.
Boom,
Match
spot.
point.
Boom, spot.
Next map,
Boom,
it's gonna be
spot.
Boom's
Boom,
pick.
spot.
They're feeling a lot of heat. The timeout hopefully cools things off a little.
And Riddle Order, this
Satu
defense
lagi,
has been
udah
very
ini.
questionable,
Satu lagi nih
unfortunately.
ya, satu
This
lagi.
is where you're looking at
Udah.
them flipping
Mereka udah
Lotus as a
ambil
pick
satu
heading
poin,
into
udah.
this series. From Challengers Japan, maybe they don't have the reps in officials, maybe they don't have the consistency that they need on this map, and the same thing can be said about the next map. Abyss, they've never played an official on it. That's going to be do or die for them if they can't bring this back into OT. That is an incredible amount of pressure for such a young team. These guys, for the most part, are just rookies, and this is where Soldem, this is where Jojo need to show them the way. They need to show that leadership to the rest of Riddle Order.
Lagi udah.
They need to show them what resilience means.
Jangan kalah udah,
They've
menang
got
bisa.
to show them how they can truly ascend. I mean, you have made it here so far, battling through so many opponents.
Fennel,
Surely,
Fennel in particular, like that reverse sweep, that's resilience. Getting knocked out in Split 1 Challengers Japan with this core earlier the year before picking up Jojo and then going on to win the whole thing. That's the kind of resilience that Riddle Order needs to summon here.
they need to bring it back. But still, I mean, Boom.
Masih Brody.
There's so much support behind them.
Oh ya, Mbak. Istrinya tuh pacarnya di.
Thinking about it
Pacar
though,
lagi di
still
dia sih Brody tuh. Si
able
siapa
to
Kitsune?
potentially buy back up into the round. Riddle,
Brody-nya diberi sama si Kitsune ke
they're
Tokyo
going
Game
to grasp at straws.
Ayo,
Both
bisa, ayo.
teams have been talking
Menang.
about the inconsistencies. Who's going to be the first one to
Oh,
find
The buy
Okay,
is
Ras.
not good.
Ras balas,
And
Ras.
boom,
Tapi kayak
they've
Bongnya,
used the opponent's timeout against them. They cleared front B with the
Cabut
Prowler. In goes the lockdown. And once again, boom, pushing Riddle Order into a situation that they've lost every single time. When Boom gets into an afterplant, Riddle Order cannot reply.
Look at how quickly Riddle Order has managed to take down Baby Door this time. The stun, it goes in. Kaide pushing through now. Soldam unfortunately running out of judge rounds, but his teammates have done a good job at cleaning up. The Rolling Thunder connect, and it's gonna be Jojo finding another kill. Shiro, the only one alive, and he wants to fight back, but Soldam sticking the defuse. He manages to get it. But Shiro picking up 2 more
Shiro.
kills. What?
menangin
He
ronde sih.
takes all of
Ya, lu
those
kalah,
guns
kalah.
away from them. Riddle Order.
Oh,
di-
the
It was a beautiful rotation timing. They surround the site. They collapse from all angles with the breach util. That was a very nice retake, but the economy has been picked clean by Shiro, taking absolutely every gun away from them. So they have to again fight for overtime with scraps.
Si Riddle.
They managed to win that round with scraps.
Paling
If
bagus
there's
tuh, paling
anything
bagus.
that Riddle has
Si
got
Ace
going for them,
sama
it's the
si
fact that they've got these
Ya,
3
tuh,
ultimates right now. Pushing
Overdrive.
out of C. It's going to be Soldam in with the overdrive. He's looking for them, but Boom has him marked. He spotted out that Oni, and he wants to fall back.
It's a firing squad. It's an instant rotation from Boom. They had a set plan. They were thinking about going towards A. They hear that overdrive come out. They all sit in spawn. Hands off. Just waiting, anticipating Riddle to overextend, to crack under the pressure. Riddle Order, they've got a lot of map control. They're in very forward positions, but this is where this composition does its best work. Haunt re-clears paint shells. Haunt re-clears C mount. The jump spot on the raise. And Boom are starting to slow this one down.
Pas 2 dong.
Boom, they've won out that exchange in resources, Pilski. Yes, they've got a lot of space that they need to clear back out, but they've got
Si
that
S dijaga
firepower,
sama
so
si
feeling
Hero.
a little bit
Nggak tahu
confident.
tuh. Sampai
Timer
kapan gue
is
juga
really
bingung.
starting to tick down here. Nightfall is going to spot at least 2 players on C. Boom doesn't like the sound of that.
Oh.
Ace now over on the other side of the map
Ace
could
masih
be
di situ.
absolutely
Ace
key
masih di
here and
situ.
step up once again for Riddle
No.
Order.
And look at Cespeed on the map too. Just baiting out the reactions, but Ace, he's got the
Nice.
angle. Able to get down one at the very least. Cespeed on towards Yatsuka.
Are they going to go back? There's 20 seconds. They have to commit to A here. Kaide still on the site, but look at the rotations. Soldem and Jojo completely
Kaide.
out of position. He's all on his own.
He's trying to hold it. He managed to avoid that haunt. Stays tucked away. Good headshot into Famous.
10
10
seconds.
seconds left. And NC Slasher's looking for him. He's not dead yet. He's coming back into the round and sold them in with the
nice.
funky. Unfortunately, not quite the connection he needs, but it's going to be Kaede. Good double, and he might just be able to do it. One more kill for the overtime, and Zespi wants to deny that outright. Palsy TP into the smoke, and Jojo just marks him down. We are going to overtime.
Kaide stepping up again for Riddle Order. We've talked about it this whole tournament long. These rookies have come up clutch time and time again for Riddle Order. Ace is having a great game so far. Started to definitely slow down in that second half. But Kaide alone on the site. Riddle Order had a complete misread on that round. But that's where one individual is able to hold on long enough. That's where the not dead yet, the Clove ultimate, and the positioning on backside makes all the difference for Riddle Order to stay alive here.
Such a fantastic job. Just keeping himself away. Kaede now trying to catch up to the rest of the team. But we've swapped sides back to the beginning.
This is where Riddle Order, they were dominating on attack. Both of these teams have been really, really good on attack so far. Riddle Order trying to avoid the spam if they can. They've taken a little bit of damage on a couple of players. Kaede quite low, but they've taken the rubble control nonetheless. Haunt goes forward, but instantly dealt with. Riddle Order does not want to lose a player to the Odin spam.
Far so good. Or at least they've gotten a little bit more information, but this time, the whole team's together.
Yeah, the Prowlers being exchanged back and forth. Riddle do not want to get caught in this trap. The Paranoia's ready, and Boom pulls the trigger a little early. They don't find anything, but Famous, through the side of a smoke, spamming away, is able to find Kaede, and Riddle are now a man down with no space but rubble. They have no control anywhere else on the map. Berserk's going for a bit of a jump spot over on C, still has not been pushed off that info line, so Boom has no reason to move an inch.
They're so comfortable right now. The Prowler might have spotted out Jojo as well. Soldam has got to do so much.
Yeah, this is where someone for Riddle has to come up with individual brilliance. You've seen the Prowler actually lock on over towards that Rubble side. They need a pick. Soldam has to find a pick here, or has to be able to create enough pressure for these B players to be able to find the timing.
30 seconds left. Is that enough, Pilski? Boom. They have control over the map. They are starting to rotate back into the B site, and they are just looking down these angles. A good stun again, but Sesame just connects head on. Soldam's gone. 13 seconds left. It's a desperation play into the C site. The Manaswap, they go off. Ace fires back, but he's not out of time. Shiro lands him down with a headshot. Boom! They start out this overtime with a win.
And that's the Boom recipe for success. Famous finding the opening pick, and Shiro and Berserk's locking down the sites. Riddle going absolutely nowhere, and Boom remembering how to play defense the way that it worked well for them previously. Cosmetic stun again onto Zespi, but this is where, if they're putting themselves in an advantageous position, if they just have the right information, that's where Boom, with Berserks and Shiro in the right positions, can just anchor down the sites with this KJ Viper comp. So it's time now for Riddle to be resilient, to once again show us that they can push themselves into another overtime.
I mean, we are seeing so many improvements from Boom's side. Coach Meow is definitely happy. How does Riddle look? We haven't really seen much from Vors. The timeout now, hopefully able to push us into a second overtime. You talked about the information game, and Jojo has been stepping up for the team.
Rough though. I mean, Boom has been really, really good on attack so far. Riddle Order, they were trying to make whatever they could work with scraps in those last few rounds, and it was working. But the gun rounds were actually not that great for them, to be honest. Boom was doing a really good job of reading them, of just playing the comp in a simple fashion, clearing out the space over on the extremities and getting themselves into post plants. This is where Riddle Order, they need a better read. They need to do what SPG was doing, where they're staying active like their comp. Neon Breach, this is such a punchy, fast comp that can just get in there and be able to take space, to be able to re-aggress, and they need to be able to have a little bit more chemistry in that regard.
Yeah, but taking a look at that logo from a fan of Boom, I think, and also taking a look at Soldam's face so far in that previous little shot, You can see that he's not feeling too happy. It's the opposite of their logo. He needs to find success, but can he do it?
Let's see if he can turn that round upside down, straight into the B side. Boom, once again, applying a lot of pressure, but they're actually diving straight into Waterfall. You can see Riddle collapsing on the site, but finding absolutely nothing but the spike. NC Slasher's all alone, the spike's gone down. This is a disaster for Boom.
Oh,
Solem, he gave them a bit of a rabbit to chase, and now he springs. It's going to be Berserks, though, quick into the other side. He fires back. Solem and Yatsuka, a couple of kills for themselves.
They've overcooked it. Boom has completely overcooked it. The spike caught in the worst possible position. Ace able to once again apply more pressure. Famous has got him pinned into a corner, though.
He's trying to hunt him down.
Oh, nice.
A little bit of support, and that's Ace. Now on to the next. It's going to be Zespi. A land him all if he is, but sometimes going off on his own, it's a little bit too darn hard. Famous, 3 targets to hit, and look at how they are all stacking up next to each other, the firing squad. It's going to be Riddle Order tying things up for a second overtime.
He's just come around the corner, see an absolutely monstrous shape. It's all legs and arm of 3 different characters, and you go down in a hail of bullets. Riddle Order evening things up now. Both of these teams now starting to fire up on defense a little bit more in overtime here. Not finding too many answers, but you can see Riddle Order, the way that they're playing around that beat pressure, very much thinking about what happened in regulation. Boom needs to show a little bit more depth than that. You know, they were trying to definitely force things front beat and then catch the rotations, but that's where I think they got a little bit too tricky and lost control of what was actually happening. Riddle Order now back to this contact style. Trouble control taken by Kaide, pushing Boom off the line, but NC Slasher continues to force things forward.
And he managed to stick down at least one. And with that, Zespi even pushes out on his own side as well. It's down to Riddle, and they are kind of pinned down, trying to figure out which other side they can go to on this map.
Oh, this position from Zespi could be huge. Dark cover drop, the one way. You can't contest that. Riddle Order gonna tap their tail between their legs and head back towards that C side of the map. Ace trying to find whatever he can front B, but there's nothing for him there. There's naught but a turret.
Perhaps
Boom now just playing the buddy system.
They're scratching their heads, Pilsky. Riddle Order. They're thinking about it. 40 seconds left on the clock, so it's not too bad. If they can clear out and fly some of the rotations back onto the other side, maybe.
Still looking for a pick here. You can see him waiting around front B. Riddle Order still keeping option B open, and that's the key timing.
Now into the site. They just bombed some utilities away. Zespi, though, able to fire back. Ace onto the 3rd kill. And that's going to be the angle locked down once again. But Berserks, the swing was too wide. Yeah, feeling too much pressure. Wanting to go for those frags, and unfortunately could not come up. It's going to be Boom with the round win.
It's all the utility timings. They are not letting Riddle Order in on these kind of more contact approaches. You see Riddle Order time and time again walking up in the mains, walking up front B and trying to explode with the breach utility, send the Neon out there, but Boom are doing a fantastic job just dropping the dark cover, putting the Viper Wall out and counter-utiling at the right time and just diving forward and segmenting the Neon in front of the rest of the team, picking him off. Really, really well worked for Boom, and now moving back onto this attacking side straight away.
And still just Riddle trying to take the initiative up against Boom. The C-mount control works out great for Solem. 2 kills, back to back, trying to fire on through. Manages to go for the 180 flick. And it's all down to Shiro now.
He's been incredibly clutch. Even on this map against Now's, he had a couple of big rounds, but the double aggression front B. Riddle, once again, playing these XVXs in the mid to late round in tandem very, very well. And we'll go again in another overtime. It's nothing but defense rounds over and over again, flipping the narrative from what we had in regulation where it was dominance on the attacking side.
And you know what that means? We're looking for that attacking round once more.
100%.
We talked about it, we were watching it, and Riddle, they're trying to go back to their old ways, old methods of contact. Doesn't quite work out.
The sweat on the brow of Kaide there. This game, a lot of pressure.
Ace as well, putting in so much work.
Pushing now the Killjoy off the line though. Zespi in a bit of a different position to usual, playing behind the Killjoy utilities. A little cheeky. Gonna TP back to the site, see if he can find a better angle of approach for that Paranoia to be deployed and to be able to shut down the execute. Once again, Riddle Order, after taking C mound control, they're gonna work their way back through spawn, see if they can keep the information game honest, because unless they're able to push NC Slasher off of this line, you're still gonna have the 3 stack towards C.
Itu udah, ya Allah.
Still
Kayaknya udah boleh lepas gak sih?
slowly creeping up to it. Some of these corners.
There you go. Clove smoke being deployed towards main. Viper wall goes up. Famous aggressing in front of it. He's going to be able to jump up on a beautiful
nice.
timing. Catches Riddle Order completely off guard and drops the spike.
The paint shells as well, just to keep them away, but Soldam slides back in just to pick it up. Now onto the other side, Kaide managing to push all the way up to drop. He tries to find something, but not quite. It's gonna be Soldam with one more kill. Famous, he falls. Ace into the B site, but shut down by Berserks.
Riddle Order are all over the place right now. And Boom are so on top of these rotations. Soldam would have a good timing to be able to get into the B side.
Tries to catch them onto the shoulder. Kaide coming in. Soldam trying to stick down the spike plant. He needs that support from his teammate. The C's, it comes out. Relay bolt to push them away. Pops the overdrive, but a little bit too eager. It's gonna be Kaide that falls.
How is he alive?
Back in. And trying to continue on with that beam. The Thunder Fingers. Zero trying to back away, but Soldam in for the 4K clutch.
How did they not land a single bullet there?
Teo. Boom Teo.
He's made 3 or 4 passes. And he's not copped a single bullet. Doing some kind of Neo-esque performance, just contorting his body all kinds of ways with the neon slides. Unbelievable. Needed a heroic performance there, Riddle Order. They were down and out in that round. Boomer once again controlling things really well on defense. But that is a hero round for Soldam. And you said we were looking for that attacking side round. Riddle Order have finally found it. They put the press back on Boom and forced out a timeout. And once again, the fans are trying to get Boom G'd up for this game.
Tell that Boom definitely feels this. Eating the attack round now. I mean, once again, both sides, they did well in regulation, right? Can they do it again? Boom. They were close.
Well, this is where they need to get around on attack. They need to go back to what was working or find that second level of depth. Tried to get a little bit too tricky in that last round of attack overtime and run the front B fake and try to wrap into Waterfall. Tripped over themselves, dropping the spike front B. I think, quite honestly, what worked for Boom very, very well on their attacking side was doing the basics right and not trying to overcook things too much. Do not let bro cook, okay? Just throw out the prowlers, take the C mount control, and get into the site.
Yeah.
Maybe this man has a few words for them, a little piece of advice here, throw some experience their way.
I don't know who that is. He's shaking his head extra. I mean, how do you play against them? There's just so much support for them. So many stars in the crowd. Not just Execute, saw a couple of others as well. But like you mentioned, sometimes when they try to cook a little bit too much, Pilski, it just goes haywire. We need to bring it back.
Back to what was working for them. A main control. Berserk's left behind front B, but he might have some trouble on his hands here.
Little bit of a contact setup from Riddle. Words pillars now, and Soldam hunting in for that kill. Berserk's nice to hold his own. Looking for the next as well. The front line comes out.
Over on the other side of the map, they're applying pressure to Ace. He's going to forfeit the site, though. He's going to play the numbers in the 4-on-4 here, see if he can catch someone in transition. But Famous, that is a round-changing frag to keep Boom alive here.
Great impact. Paint shells as well, so he has a little bit more space along with this one-way. The spike is under their control.
It's an awkward approach. They need to be able to break back in however they can, but contacting through a one-way ain't it.
Oh, Jojo. He's looking to set it up with the haunt. Manages to throw it just in the right spot. Throws off Famous's crosshair. Now Zespi trying to hold the angle, but quick peeks from Jojo all down the NC Slasher and Shiro up to the other side. Spots out the barrel, comes in, oh, it's a great double. Yatsuka trying to Shiro swings out from an unexpected angle. Boom! Forcing us into yet another overtime.
Shiro giving Boom that stability, that consistency, providing that veteran presence that's needed and coming through in the late round, in the XVXs and the clutch. Once again,
This is just the first map, Pilski.
I mean, Riddle, I'm surprised they even made that round that competitive. It was a one-dimensional approach, trying to force their way through a one-way up into heaven, just throwing a haunt at the ground. Sometimes it's all that takes to break through.
It is just so much energy. And we go again. Riddle on the attack.
Working their way through front B while applying pressure to this A site. Drawn an extra rotation or two. Boom. Focus on the extremities right now. A 2-3 setup, no one on B, just Timmy the Turret keeping an eye out. But Famous whipping out the operator. That's not something that Riddle Order have seen before, and it's definitely not something they were ready for.
Switching things up. Now they know. And they're turning away from it. Pilski into the B side. Kaide, he throws it out. Paranoia from Ace as well. The two controllers trying to gain control over the site. Yatsuka has managed to find his way in. Boots down on B. And along with it, potentially the spike is able to take down Joe. Zero through the smoke into Yatsuka. And Kaide just thrown off by the hump down off the steps. It's all down.
Nice!
And he's surrounded. Berserks with the X on the
One more,
That was the change up they needed. Famous opening up that
Gary.
round with 2 op kills.
Just one more round for Boom.
That's all they need. Back onto this attacking side. You can hear the crowd rallying behind them, hungry for blood. Wanting Boom to get across the finish line. It's been a long road back into this game from a 3-9 deficit. And all they need is this one more attacking round. They wipe the floor with Riddle Order on that defense. Just in that last round. Once again, it's back to the patient, measured approach. Prowler going forth. Ball goes up from Shiro. Haunt forward. But in the off angle, this is where Ace is once again making the difference from Riddle Order.
Great adjustments. They are not backing down. Riddle. If Boom wants a fight, they're happy to give it to him.
Forcing front B, having a little bit of a look for info. Once again, being aware that Berserk's time and time again continues to lurk through front B. But Riddle Order, with Ace finding that pick, they've cleared out Shiro. They know that there's going to be no presence towards A. They're quite happy to drop him off. Drop Ace off over towards Rubble and rotate heavily towards B and C, and they're completely in position.
And it's Kaide as well. I mean, getting information for Riddle in this moment. Boom, they are setting up for it. But also thinking about the rotations. Riddle, they've spread themselves across the map.
30 seconds. They've got to force things through the smoke here, Quack.
Trying to break through. Kaide with the angle.
Nice!
Peeks out. He's been caught. It's down to Soldan.
Wow!
Flies in
Oh,
with
nice!
the relay. Takes down NC Slasher, but look at Boom. All extremities covered.
Oh, on the off angle though, Jojo trying to break back into the site. Spike still on the deck. It's a double peek. They're able to trade that important kill. Ace locked behind the door. They need to get the spike here.
8 seconds, and Ace, he takes down yet another frag. Even with the spike plant, Ace has an opportunity to sneak through. Showstopper available for Famous, and he pops it. Looks for it. Connects. Boom! They explode in this first match.
Famous ending it all. Started to step up late in the piece, pulling out the op, finding opening kill after opening kill, and finishing that off with a bang. Boom. What a resurgence, what a comeback, being down 3-9. Embracing the hype, embracing the energy from the crowd here in Jakarta. And now they go into an abyss that Riddle has never played before. That's got to be a confident feeling.
I mean, just look at the smiles, the celebrations all throughout. But how is it gonna feel for the side of Riddle? They've done so much. Ace has done so much. The other players trying to step up to it as well, forcing so many overtimes. But it all ended with a showstopper.
Yeah, I mean, Ace, he did what he could. Like, what more can bro do? 30 plus kills as a rookie. Couldn't quite get it done. So, unfortunate. Riddle Order are going to have to go back to the drawing board. They're going to have to show us what they've been working on in Abyss because they didn't play it at all in Challengers Japan. That is a very, very key map in some of the other Ascensions. EMEA Ascension, Abyss was absolutely influential in who was going to actually bring that one away. And then over here in Jakarta, in Pacific Ascension, no one's played it. This is going to be the first time that we've seen Abyss, and it's a massive question mark.
That's right, Pilski. I mean, at the very least, we know that Ewok's very, very excited to talk about this map. But right now, I mean, just thinking about how, you know, Boom is going to approach this and Riddle as well, it's going to be back to Vic to break all of this down.
As they were shouting in the stadium, Avisin, finish him! The crowd asked Boom Esports to finish Riddle, and they did. They came back, they reached deep down into their Indonesian DNA and brought out that firepower as that wolf pack, and all of us are hearing from the screen. Absolutely gripped.
We were just watching the whole stadium erupt every time Boom would get around. But not only that, the 9-3 curse apparently is spoken in Bahasa.
True.
That is the language it is said in, and I'm just amazed how Boom pulled it off there.
Yeah,
It's
it's crazy.
been crazy. All right, you guys get out of here.
Yeah, move,
We'll
move, move,
come
move.
back for the second game. That was insane though, and to finish it off with that raised showstopper. What a way to
peak,
close out in overtime. Oh my
Do you want me to go or you want? What?
He brought the party, right?
Yeah.
Everyone in this building just went crazy. The floor that we're sitting on is literally moving and shaking as the crowd's going crazy.
I know Indonesia's in the ring of fire, but this was absolutely way too hot. You gotta give it though to Riddle, a 9-3 start. Ace especially in the interview, right? Where is the ace that we expected from LAN? They're getting it there,
Yeah.
and they got this in this map. 35 kills with 21, I believe, did come from the first half. But on the other side, boom, they pulled out the clutches. Pulled out the energy from the crowd. And of course, the two players that have honestly been criticized throughout their careers against international talent in Famous and Berserks, they stepped up when they needed to the most.
Yeah, 100%. And if you look at the first kills here, right? We saw so many first kills for Riddle in that 9-3 half. Then all of a sudden, Boom started to win some rounds and the crowd started to go crazy. If you don't believe in momentum, you don't believe in fan power, go and watch this game back.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden, all of the first kills going towards Boom, all the momentum
Yes.
is going towards Boom. And that's what you see. They ended up with more first kills in the end.
I believe in the power of friendship and fandom now. There's something about this Indonesian crowd, and we have Berserks as our MVP. This guy is phenomenal. There was a time when everyone said Berserk was going to be the next Paper X Forsaken.
Yes.
Then he had kind of a rough year, so this is fantastic that Boom is always stuck by him, and then he started to have a really good showing again.
Yeah, I mean, the rough year where it said, okay, you're demoted to Sentinel, right? You play a different role in Famous steps in for Duelist. But there were so many big rounds, and just like the Disguise game, the Berserk Sheriff is what really kicks things off. One round I still remember, the one by Tree, right? It's a 1v2,
Yep.
sprays through the smoke, still gets the guy anyway, and it's just so insane that Boom has pulled off what they wanted to do in the first place in front of their crowd.
Well, guys, we are going to go to Abyss for a second map. It's the first time we're seeing Abyss this entire tournament, and
He's
it is
excited.
Boom's pick. This is going to be insane. We're going to go on a quick break, mostly because all of us, including
Guys!
welcome back to VCT Ascension, where we have seen the most incredible things happening throughout today. And just now, our first overtime, the most intense overtime I've experienced so far this tournament. And we've had crazy overtimes already. Boom Esports brought it back. It was absolutely insane. Someone would start shouting boom, then they would be activated. Then they just started collecting those rounds, snowballing those rounds. Now, we are all going to see something really exciting. This Ascension's the first time we're going to see Abyss. But Dax, why is this only the first time we are seeing Abyss?
It's pretty interesting, right? So many teams have banned it out, and I do want to tell the tale a little bit here of Riddle Order. So they do ban Abyss, but it used to be one of their priority bans, back especially in Japan. But coming into Ascension, they decided Icebox is what they want to ban instead, which is a little bit interesting because they have had a good pat on it. But given the fact that they haven't played it, and Boom has actually run this map a few times with a very, honestly, normal composition in a way. It's very Ascent-esque. You have their initiators, you have the Cypher, but now it's the chance for Boom to try and catch Riddle off guard. And Ewok has been super excited to talk about this map for so very long already.
Yeah, I'll take a minute to yap real quick. So I think this map is really interesting because I feel like there's not a lot of teams that's figured out exactly how to play this map. There's been a lot of teams that try to play it at champs, and we see a lot of different compositions, right? And it seems like some compositions work and some don't. But even when you see some mirror comps, you see some teams just play it in a whole different way. And that's where I find it really interesting, because some teams, they know how to play the mid, they understand mid's important, but then other teams, they're like, well, we can just hit B. If you have no answer for our B hit, we'll just go B over and over and over again. Right, so that's what I'm curious. We haven't seen the Abyss. What's happening in the scrims behind the scene? Are these teams scrimming the Abyss? It's been open a couple of times, people are not going for it. Are they confident to Boom feel like, okay, we got this momentum now, and now is our chance to play maybe this Ascent form, maybe something new? Are they gonna do it? I don't know.
I mean, they took the map pick of Riddle, right? And we were talking about a while ago that Riddle is such a strong starting point. You start attack on Lotus, it's one of your best maps, and you still end up losing it. Now Boom has so much leeway for the rest of the draft.
Yeah, in fact, you were talking about Abyss and their comps and how they play it has differed from team to team. In fact, the international leagues, the global teams, have often looked to the challengers and the Ascension teams and how they have decided to break apart Abyss. It's such an interesting map. It's going to be really exciting. And like you guys said, what is Boom? They obviously have something up their sleeve here. But Riddle, this was a really close match. This first map, we thought Riddle was going to take it home. It was a 9-3, but it looked very much convincing in Riddle's favor. You know, aside from like the crowd buff we're getting for Boom Esports here. So what?
We have been spoiled by this. You guys remember, the Indonesian talent went up to us and said, there is something that Boom is scrimming, and something you might not even expect. Who's playing the duelist now? It's NC Slasher on Yoru, which means famous moves over the middle, double control, yes, with the Sova Cypher still. I am really keeping an eye out on Ewok's favorite friend, Sheldon here. Let that Yoru go.
I'm excited. The Yoru is really good on this map. There's so many places you can be, especially on the defense side, but the attack side, there's so many fakes that you can throw in as well. And then for the Riddle side, nothing too strange, right? This is the old boot comp, exactly, Dax. Right, so maybe Boom knows how to play against this comp because they played it themselves, right?
This, the anticipation I feel right now is so high and so tense, but I am so excited to go into the second map of today. We're going to go to our casters, and I hope you guys have lowered your heart rate because it's about to go through the roof again as we go into Abyss. Let's go over to Quack and Pilski.
Thank you very much, Vic, as well as Ewok and Dax. Yes, we're Quack and Pilski. I mean, what is going on with this agent composition? It looks really interesting, but I'm still thinking about consistency. So far, it has been up and down for both teams. And Boom might have won out on that previous map because of the crowd cheering and whatnot, but Lightning does not strike the second place twice.
I think the crowd's going to be backing Boom no matter what, but it's the last lifeline here for Riddle Order, a very young core here from Japan. A lot of pressure to come up against a huge question mark for Boom. I thought they were going to at least to know what Boom was doing on this map. They've at least played 3 times Abyss in Challengers Indonesia, but not even they're going to have a read on what Boom's doing with this comp change. Abyss is just a massive question mark. And when you're looking for consistency, when you're looking to bring this game back, it's going to be very difficult to do that. when you're having to adapt on the fly against this amount of pressure.
That's why we're thinking about what could have gone on inside of scrims. Why did Boom pick this map? Perhaps this composition will tell. While Riddle looking for some of the shots. Soldam with the tailwind now prepped and ready, and he's looking for one more frag, but so much contact in the site. And still looking for a little bit more. Kaide coming in with a bit more support. Yasuka able to take one down. Boom still continuing to push forth with the pressure. They're right around that dark cover. Jojo looking for the angle. Flicks on to Famous. He has to fall back. Shiro trying to run away with the spike.
They've lost the presence in the middle of the map though. Berserk getting taken out by Ace means that Shiro has not very many options here. Mid is dirty. This timing between Shiro and Ace could be key, but Ace is not revealing his hand right here. Shiro will instead be allowed to sneak back through onto this A site, but the trip will at least give some warning to Riddle Order that he's made his way over there.
The question is, even if Shiro gets the spike down, how can he play and set himself up for a potential clutch? There are so many targets on the other side. Kaide from the back of spawn.
He's got a clear spawn, play forward. He's getting wrapped on by Ace. Riddle Order starting to close the net, clearing out spawn, playing the buddy system, and over on the other side, Ace just waiting for contact from the rest of the team.
Hero. He's thinking about it. So many angles to watch out for Pilski.
Cam goes forward, clears a little more space. Ace now wrapping across the bridge.
Shiro turns away at the wrong time, flicks back at the last second, but it's still gonna be Ace to pick up the pistol.
Riddle Order starting how they want to. Picking Boom apart as they try to make their way up the B ramp there. The Sheriff's doing a lot of damage. And Boom, that pistol maybe not going the way that they would have wanted. The plan was to get themselves into a B after plant, leave Berserks on the flank. Here on Abyss, especially on the attacking side, control of middle is super important. The way that you push and pull middle control makes all the difference, whether you've got someone on the lurk or you're wrapping the side on attack. You saw ADG be able to win this map where it all counted, and all of that was down to how much pressure they could exert through middle and be able to keep the other team guessing.
Not gonna go to middle right now for round. Boom. With the full stack, slowly moving up towards it. Outlaw. And it just hits Next one as well is going to be NC Slasher in with a fake out, managing to take down Soldam with the blinds. Joe trying to stay alive, but taken down by NC Slasher as well. What is going on in this round? Boom just might be able to steal it away.
Trying to get comfortable inside the site. TP being thrown towards the backside. NC Slasher repositioning, needs to be smoked off. In goes the Paranoia and the dark cover, and Boom forfeiting the site.
They're sending out one of their own though, Riddle. Into it, Boom. Trying to reposition on the other side of this main position. Shot through the recon just at the right time, Pilski. It's going to be Ace now trying to push through. He's looking for the timing of it, but unfortunately no information whatsoever.
There's no time.
Taken away, Kaide. Desperation shots, and he finds two force truffles. Sesame trying to ping back. Ace with the bulldog for the shot, being able to retrieve the round for Riddle. But at what cost?
Ace just sticking the spike, making sure they got that half on through, but Boom applying so much pressure there. Let's be honest, a 3-on-5 with naught but classics, and they take all but 4 guns away from Riddle Order. That is not an acceptable result on an anti-eco. They are going to be playing with scraps on the bonus here. Definitely not going to be able to contest Boom's economy versus his first gun round the way that they would potentially want. And NC Slasher has already got himself very close to a Yoru ultimate right off the rip.
2 points away. Starting on with the next attack. They're starting to spread out a little bit more this time.
Oh, the push down being main though. Ace able to find the first frag onto Zesby. Over on the A side of the map though, the drone going forward. Yoru forcing his way through a few kill trips there, and you can see inside of the site, Yatsuka trying to stay alive.
Using the cyber cages to make it happen. And see Slasher going in for the spike plant now. That will give him his dimensional drift.
Yeah, he's going to clear out Spawn.
Yes.
You can see exactly where Riddle Order's playing from here behind the drone.
Now sneaking up on the other side, Shiro towards heaven. NC Slash are able to take one down at the very least.
Boom again, turtling in spawn. They're going to try to play off the recon as the flash comes through for Riddle Order, retake the site.
They have the spike down, and all they need to do is watch for it. Metal comes in as well. No one's quite tapped just yet, but a couple of shots will take down JoJo. They spotted out the tracer rounds from Soldan as well. Now on with the Cloudburst.
Nice.
Riddle's trying to
Nice.
but it's not gonna happen. Berserk's in with the double kill to end the round.
And boom, you saw how dangerous they were playing from main with naught but the pistols. This time, with the rifles closing out that gun round beautifully, despite losing Zesby off the rip.
Yo, menang cepat
There's
yuk.
a bit of B-ramp
Go,
aggression. I
menang
like
cepat
that
yuk.
from
Udah,
Riddle Order.
gitu, gak usah.
Throwing a little bit of a
Bisa
curveball
kalah
on the
gitu,
bonus.
buat aku.
Didn't really have too many expectations coming into that round, so trying something a little bit outlandish, but it works out beautifully. And now Riddle Order. Soldam's got the op-out very early on here. Definitely got to keep your eye on this controller utility. Shiro on the single E-net. Trying to push him off the line, as well as the Yoru just creating space, limiting opportunities for that operator, which definitely won't have a chance to get involved in this round. They're going to leave him behind on the B site, on that info line. Riddle Order now starting to lean a little bit more heavily towards A main.
Definitely some of the rotation on their side. Dark Color comes out just to block off Boom a little bit more.
3 on A here for Riddle Order. They're ready for this hit. They're ready with the reactive utility as the drone goes forward.
Oh, in with a fake out too. They're just trying to clear out a lot of space and then gate crashing back in. Now the support
Nice,
coming
nice.
through. Famous in with
Nice.
And it's going to be Zesby peeking out alongside it. Boom. The execution's good.
And Riddle Order are completely out of position here. Spike hasn't gone down though. Berserk's applying pressure in middle. Yatsuka's got to be the key player here for Riddle Order, sneaking through the smoke.
Smart banget. Iya.
Trying to
Soldamnya udah OP tuh.
a little bit more space.
Udah OP
into
tuh
the site.
Soldamnya.
It's always
Bang.
been this A plant open for the main angle, and they can't quite clear it.
Got nothing to get back in. No cloudburst, no cage, no cover. It's just got to be Soldam to try to hold down this line. And Boomer playing for the spams.
In with the smokes
Nice.
again. Camera spotted as well. Yatsuka goes down, and it's going to be the
udah.
save
Masih
for
OP.
Soldam.
OP-nya.
What a round from Boom.
Now just controlling
Soldamnya
everything
nggak OP.
towards A main there, taking their time, working their way on through.
Tahu gua.
This is
Eh,
the
enggak.
pressure
Eh, enggak ya.
that the Yoru applies, just being able to scale out A. The first wave dealt with the reactive utility for Riddle Order. You saw that dart come through up on the top. I'm pretty sure reactive paranoia or a bit of KO utility in there as well. They had 3 on the site, but that's the strength of a Yoru. The fake out and going forward, throwing those clones into the site, and then just being able to gate crash back and rely on this second wave. And when you've got players like Famous who are in form this series and applying that punching power into the site, that's where Boom is going to have a lot of success. This a round you can't take for granted though. You definitely need to avoid this operator. You've seen operator and a handful of sheriffs be able to win rounds like this, so Boom need to make sure they keep their heads screwed on tight here.
You're right, Pilski. Boom might have staggered the approach, but they need to keep things up. Soldam's still available and online, but on the B site right now.
And they're changing things up though,
Wow.
Boom. It's been a lot of A main, B main presence so far this game, but against the half buy, against the operator, they're going to flip the script a little bit. Clear out this progression smoke, break the door, Cam keeping an eye on middle. After the early portions of this round elapse, Boomer just waiting for a reaction here for Riddle Order.
They're trying to find out where that operator might be posted up, and they kind of want to avoid it altogether. But for a little bit of time spent away now, rotating back into the A site.
Orb will give Not Dead Yet over to Famous. He can turn into a pseudo entry if he wants here. Be able to
Mending lu
limit the
ambil.
risk,
Mending lu ambil.
give a potential
Bang Musim
entry
mending ambil dah.
to Boom, as the Yoru has an outlaw here.
Then setting it up. JoJo, though, anticipated a good little dink on towards NC Slasher now, but backs up knowing that they have to play for retakes. Riddle, they need to set themselves up.
Boomer again outmaneuvering, outpositioning Riddle Order, who are constantly on the wrong side of the map, and Boom's gonna fight forward inside of the site here.
Famous still ready with that. So not dead yet, like you mentioned, Pilski. And here it comes. It's going to be the angles, and they know exactly where they have to look. Boom. Just waiting for the drop shot. Yatsuka
Nice,
able to
Mamusin.
get just one.
Nice.
And then comes Berserk.
Atas.
Famous
Nice.
in for another, and he is relentless with it. Just
Saving lagi.
continuing to hunt them down. Riddle
Saving aja terus.
has to turn
Boom.
away this up, being saved for another round. Look at Soldam.
They're hungry.
Knowing
Boom is hungry right now. They do not want to let him save this op. Continuing to charge forward, but Soldem is out in another postcode. I don't know if they're going to be able to catch him here. Berserks. He's close. Falling off the map though and floating down to safety here. Soldem, has he timed it correctly? Looks like he has. Gonna keep that op alive. So it's heads up play from the Korean Jet there. But make no mistake, Quack, Boom, despite the 2 rounds on the scoreboard here for Riddle Order, have been dominating this game. Riddle scraped through that anti-eco, and these last 3 rounds have not been particularly close.
So still trying to keep themselves in the game, trying to cement that lead. Both teams looking to find different ways into the map. Boom. It's been ace so many times so far, but this time, in towards mid we go.
Yeah, once again, flicking the script. One way deep onto middle here. Jump spot from Kaido, who's trying to play the pivot position in with the Hunter's Fury. Further extending control and emphasis. Famous putting himself into an aggressive lurking position. Door broken. So much pressure in the middle of the map right now from Boom.
That's why Riddle are completely surrounding so many of these exits, anticipating for a push somewhere, anywhere. But what they don't know, this position towards Soldan. He has to run away, but hunted by the Hunter's Fury. Famous getting killed onto Kaide as well. They have wrapped around the A site now. Potentially being sent through. Another kill for Shiro and Famous.
Yatsuka never even had a chance to get involved in the round. Just has to turn his tail, or tuck his tail between his legs, turn around and try to hold on to the Vandal. Boom is dominating this game right now. Going from control and pressure on the extremities to setting up a very finely tuned execute there. Working their way all the way through mid, and Famous continuing to push the issue. Yatsuka tapping the cam. Able to take him out. Famous not going to rip the ult for that one. But can he hold on to the rifle?
Trying to do it at least. Even with the cyber cage up, it's Berserks. Nail on the head. Boom onto the 4th.
Riddle Order. This is the test of character that not many can pass in Ascension. You come up from tier 2 as a rookie squad, not much experience. Few little forays on the stage in Challengers Japan, which, you know, that will give them a little bit of sense of what this environment might be like. And they have completed a reverse sweep in the grand final of that tournament. But this is different stakes. They have got the crowd against them and Boom breathing down their necks.
But sometimes, Pilsky, that's what it takes to ascend to greatness. They've come here so far to be a champion, to be someone who passes through the ascension. You cannot let the crowd phase you. Riddle, they're definitely feeling the effects, but maybe, just maybe this time out from Coach Force will give them a bit more support, a bit more hope. Where are the 2 Riddle fans in the crowd?
He's been working with this rookie squad for such a long time, coming up from, you know, Zeta's academy team, and, you know, Riddle Order not really having that much of a run together.
And you know,
up until this point, but he's going to need to come up with some wise words, but not even, you know, talking about the big picture, the test of character, talking about the, you know, the macro game in terms of the tactics. Like, this is not inspiring at all from Riddle Order. Like, the operator is getting run around the map. The Yoru and the Sova utility is continually limiting the opportunities that Soldem can create. And the rest of the team is not responding well enough to the pressure that Boom's being put on. Not only can they not deny and shut down the executes, but they also are not reacting well enough to the mid pressure.
That's someone that we have to think about as well. You talked about that operator. That's one of the things for Riddle Order so far. I mean, they have made it to the top of tier 2 in their home region. And you're seeing Ace and Kaide giving us some consistent performances, but what about right now? Some of the 0 points connecting, and still it's going to be Boom pushing into the site. Yatsuka trying to stay alive into the cyber case, but sprayed down by Zespi and NC Slasher. The site onto her. Boom! Famous! He doesn't need his name up in lights! Just a couple more kills.
He just continues playing with confidence, continues to push into the opponent's spawn. And Riddle, they are rattled.
All down to Ace. Thinking about the exits, thinking about the save. Boom. Off of a timeout, a sudden rip play into the B site. And a
Nice.
flawless round to boot.
That's just not going to shift the momentum a single inch after that timeout. Riddle are having absolutely no impact, and this is the side effect of not being ready enough on Abyss. It hasn't been a factor in this tournament at all, but Boom has played the trump card here in the veto against Riddle Order. They've said they're slapping it down. They're saying, you guys have got to have prepared Abyss well enough for this tournament, and it really doesn't look like it. Operator going to come out for Soldum yet again. He's had absolutely no impact on it so far. He just keeps getting pushed and pulled around the map by the Yoru, by the Sova, by the double controllers, limiting his vision.
Staying tucked away so far behind on B Tower as well.
Look at the rotations from Riddle. In comes the Dimensional Drift. NC Slasher trying to scout things out, spots out the Operator. Soldum under pressure now. The sidebar getting
There it
dived
is.
upon from behind.
NC
ya
Slasher
Allah,
trying
mati
to
dong.
kill, but shut down by Yatska. Riddle, they managed to hold their ground. Swapping back to the
Wah,
classic.
nice.
Soldam in for the
Aduh.
third kill. Triple
Nice.
no scope. Shut down by Shiro. Jojo back in the game. Ace trying to wrap back around as well, providing that
Oh.
additional support.
Ah.
The Berserks is good. Ace will shut down any sign of momentum from Boom.
That A main control right off the rip is what makes the difference there for Riddle Order. They were able to clear all of that space. They're able to leave behind Ace over towards A main and just rotate over to the B site in time. And with how close that round gets, Quack, that is what makes the difference here. It comes down to a 1v1. If you do not have every single defending player in position to defend that B site split with the Dimensional Drift, they wouldn't have got it across the line. Another big impact round from Soldum. He's going to need a lot more than that, though. And with only one player surviving, Riddle's economy has been picked clean and is ready for the reset.
Like we're talking about, gotta find those consistent rounds, and this time he's in the right spot, but feeling that metal stays tucked away behind the wall.
Looking for his opportunity to pick the numbers. Thrown back onto the line by Kaide. They know that Boom has significant presence in towards middle, and they've spotted the Cypher lurk at 8.
Trying to look out for it too.
Such discipline from Boom. They're giving him absolutely nothing. They're not giving him a single angle until they get into that side exec, and that's where they put him under the pressure, and he's forced to show us this highlight plays that he's known for.
Create another highlight reel, this time rotating over onto the A site, Pilski. But look at the spike. Boom. We talked about map presence, map control. They've got themselves posted up everywhere.
Ready for this timing. Berserk's on the other side of the wall. If they lose Soldum here, this could all fall apart. Boom starting to make their way back towards the A side of the map and leak up with the lurk. It's so tense at A main right now.
Berserks, he knows he just doesn't really have to move all too much. Waiting for his team to rotate on over. The footsteps being heard pretty soon now by Soldum. Oh, they're cutting noise.
Gila ya. Aduh, mati dong.
Down onto Shiro, he picks again.
Waduh.
Swaps over
Oh,
the
nice.
shorty.
Ah,
Berserks
bisa
fires
dua.
back.
Jojo's on the back of the site, trying to buy time for further. Rotates. Famous
Nice.
again being the thorn in the side through middle. 12 seconds on the clock here, Quack.
Still needing to push through to get the spike down. But look at Zespi
Wah,
onto
gila.
the other side of the
Ngeflank kayak
map.
gini
He
dong.
manages to stick it just in
Ngeflank
time.
kayak
They've got a clear Famous out of mid.
Dapat.
Still applying pressure over on A. Berserk trying to
what a
continue to
good
pick
Oh,
the
nice.
rotates. Famous is continuing to be the thorn in the side for Riddle.
Just controlling this entire mid-half of the map. Riddle continuously blocked off. You got Berserks coming through as well, now falling back towards the spike.
Nice.
Shot's good, takes down Jojo. It's all down to Kaede Pilski. He swings
Nice.
out of tower, burnt down by Zespi.
Gila, udah 6
Boom
aja.
in with 6 rounds.
Udah bisa ya.
The Japanese squad might be Riddle Order, but Boom is making them look
Yeah,
like
guys.
fools right now.
Ada dua yang Korea,
Running them
anjing.
around the map,
Tim doang Jepang.
out-rotating them,
Yang Jepang.
and
yang
Riddle
Jepang 3 orang.
cannot find an inch. Famous. Choker on land,
Ini
I
juga,
think
ini
not.
Bung.
14 and
Satunya
5 in the
Singapura sih,
server
guys.
right now, absolutely dominating, and not in the traditional sense that you would expect. He's not running it down. You heard it from Coach Meow in the interview. He has learned discipline. He has learned to read the game, and he's walking his way through mid. Aggressive down main, Soldum, trying to force
Tidak
things,
mungkin.
trying to
Tidak
have
bisa
his
kayak
Kang
gitu.
Kang moment, but still not finding any
Itu
impact.
tangkang
Boom
momen,
cannot be
ngangkang
vaulted.
momen.
He was trying to do it
Ngangkang
because
itu.
it's an eco save, so with the place arm, potentially at least 1 kill and then pick up a rifle,
Mainnya
but
apa coba SPG?
Boom, anticipating all of these movements. Homework done on the map of
Oh.
Abyss. NC Slasher
banget.
in with the
Berani
outright,
banget, bro.
looking to shut down.
Oh,
any
nge-kill tapi. Oh,
aggression
nice.
from Riddle. Trying
Oh,
to
wih, gila.
Zespi just says no.
They're completely surrounded in their own sight. Are they, like, it doesn't even look like there's any defense there. Boom is all over them.
Bobonya mati sini, bulir.
Just off of the one frag and the whole round, all the dominoes, they fall. Last one left, it's gonna be Ace. Spots out the fake out, lets it pass. It's all those tracers. Anticipating at least one inside of smoke, but the crouch spray from Zespi. The flawless round from Boom.
And it's looking like Boom has broken the confidence of Riddle Order in that first map. One game of Lotus played, flipping the veto. No games of Abyss. Lack of officials and lack of consistency is Riddle Order's biggest enemy right now. They are coming up with nothing on the defense. And Boom, it looks like they've been hiding this Abyss pick, flipping the comp from Challengers into Ascension, and it's paying its dividends.
Just a huge return on investment right now in Boom, continuing to switch things up.
Soldem has to get involved in the action, but the drone once again limiting his opportunities. Knife dealt with, but he's been pushed off the line.
He tries to back up Tailwind at the ready. Fake out in his face though. Able to take down Famous. This could be the start, but he's blinded as well. Zespi up on top. Able to spot everything. He's got vision for days. And Slasher kills on the other side. The spike goes down.
Yeah, he has enough time to get that plant down. Ace creeping forward inside of his own dark cover, trying to create an opportunity, but there's a beautiful peek from Shiro. Shows him the shoulder and swings out onto the line.
That could have been everything for this first half. Yatsuka now looking for the clutch, but the movements, the position, too slippery, too sneaky. Zespi in with the third kill for the round.
Both Zespi, Famous, and the Yoru of NC Slasher are exactly that. Just greasing their way through the defense. Riddle Order cannot get their hands on Boom right now. They are out of control on a rampage.
And that little seed of doubt planted from the map of Lotus, it's starting to settle in to their minds, settling in hard for Lotus, for Riddle Order.
Satu lagi.
How can they fight themselves back into this map? They tried
Oh,
contact
no.
plays outside of
Ternyata dia
aim.
mati.
Famous fires back.
Turning a 1-for-1.
Not
Good
detect
trade from Famous now. Once again, controls the orb. Gets the not dead yet online. That gives an extra man over to Boom in this round that they can have access to. Door broken. Kaide spotted, but Soldem creeping up onto the line. May not be expected by Berserks here, but he makes it across.
It's narrowly spotted. Needing to spend the updraft just to avoid as well.
But Riddle Order getting into position here. Yatsuka still alive on the side. They're trying to break
nice.
the grip. Zespi, what an entry from him.
Oh,
And now on
Oh!
the spotted up by Berserks as well. The
Oh.
not dead yet spent just to keep this momentum up into the site. Boom, looking to pull off the 9-3 up against Riddle.
And Famous is trying to send a message right now. Right at the end of the half here. Not dead yet, elapsing though, and he will go down. Jojo biding his time, working his way through Heaven's side, but there's so much time ticked off the clock. He doesn't have time for this, and Boom are playing so disciplined.
Just tucked away in every corner possible. Jojo has so much to clear. The camera, it spots him out. He goes in front.
nice.
But Shiro says
Yo,
no.
bisa yo.
This is my half.
This is where Riddle Order have got to do exactly what Boom
Saya ini, mah.
did in the last map.
Easy nih mah.
Down 3 and 9. They are desperate for a pistol. They are desperate for a comeback here. And you've seen some hero plays from Ace so far in this series. You've seen some outstanding individual performances from this young Japanese core so far in this tournament. But no one is showing up to this game. There is nothing to speak of for Riddle Order. Tactically, they're outclassed. Individually, they're
Nah,
outgunned.
ini main sabar aja udah.
They have got to have a phenomenal attacking
Udah, lu
side, or
menang
this
4 di
is curtains
sini.
for them.
Jangan terlalu maju.
Every
Udah
single
menang.
aspect possible,
Udah,
Bilski.
lolos kita. Lower final.
Just once again, the crowd, the drums,
Udah.
And
looking for those 4 more rounds.
Menang aja udah.
Zespi brought into this roster to give them energy. He does not shy away from the stage environment. He's very
Jangan dirasin.
flamboyant,
Udah.
very active.
Yeah.
when the pressure gets on.
Yeah.
You can see Riddle playing along, doing their best to try to bring on the energy for themselves, but it's not really looking like they are feeling the same hype that Boom are right now.
Ulit tunggu aja gitu.
And this is where the home crowd advantage is coming in full force for Boom. You could talk about the studio environment. You could talk about Boom having a tough time getting into this game, into this tournament. But at the end of the day, when the home crowd is against you, it's a tough position to be in, Quack.
I like it though, at the very least, keeping those smiles up like their team logo that we all know and love so much. Riddle Order trying to shake things off for the start of this second half.
And not only for themselves,
Bisa ya.
this is for the whole Japanese scene.
Yo,
They've
bisa
got
yo.
so much support behind
Bisa
them.
ini mah.
They are the next generation of Japanese rookies that even if they go down here, they've already shown phenomenal performances. They've already shown the potential to play Valorant at an extremely high level. But just the potential is not good enough to be able to be picked up into a Pacific team sometimes. You need to show that you can pass the test of character that it takes at these big tournaments.
Definitely wanting to see so much more from them. We saw greatness from Ace on the previous map, but needing so much more in this pistol round right now.
Already NC Slasher forced to use his gate crash, so he's not going to be able to apply the same pressure across the map, rotate correctly to the right side in an instant. Famous, as well as Berserks, both on this B site, trying to lock things down. A-main cleared out by Boom, but Yatsuka's got a lot of space in middle, but a little bit off the timing. Berserks puts him down early, and now this becomes much more one-dimensional for Riddle Order, trying to force their way onto B.
And now trying to break through those doors, Pilski.
Oh, nice!
Right into the booby traps. It's gonna be so that firing off at least one shot from Berserks and NC Slasher to strike them down. All that's left is Kaede.
A dart to work with. A monumental task ahead of him. 400 Boom players looking for double digits on the other side of the smoke.
Just imagine trying to clutch out a 1-on-4,
Nice.
but hearing the crowd all around you.
Tiga
NC
lagi.
Slasher does not let him breathe whatsoever.
And Boom on the verge now after
Bisa,
winning
bisa,
that
bisa.
pistol and hitting
Bisa,
double
bisa, bisa,
digits
bisa.
of conquering their demons. Crashed out in top 4 fashion, last ascension, but making the step into the grand final on home soil may be the change that they need. They have one more opponent in front of them after Riddle Order, but this is the first test that they need to pass.
So far, so good. It's the Outlaw back in action, Pilski. Marking the angles. Riddle looking for an execute.
They've gone for a half buy, but a lot of them have light armor.
Oh.
Zesby from
Oh,
the
nice,
top of
nice,
the side.
nice.
They're getting picked
Oh,
apart.
nice.
They can't get into the side at all, Quack.
The spike dropped on the ground as well. Ace, he's trying to play around it, wanting to pick it up. Yatsuka coming back in, provide him with a little bit of support, but still,
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
look at Boom!
Oh!
NC
Lagi,
Slasher
lagi.
again with the Outlaw. Farming up a storm. Man is just steaming ahead. Powering up in the agriculture industry. Getting himself another dimensional drift online right at the start of the half. And Riddle Order, who threw a Hail Mary at that round, tried to go for the force buy. The tilt factor is definitely coming in.
Oh, gila.
They wanted to try to turn their fortunes
Ooh.
around, but it's really just not working out for them. This map of Abyss being let through the veto has been a giant mistake. Giant gaping hole in Riddle's map pool right now, Quack, and they're gonna just double down. They're gonna go all in yet again for this A split with the force buy.
Hopefully able to
Oh,
scratch
nice.
anything up, but
Oh, nice,
Zesby, what a shot
Nice.
through an intentional little gap in the smokes.
Or util from Riddle Order, like they're not pushing the Omen off these off angles.
Oh.
They're continuing to just take
Oh,
giant
lagi.
fights against
Ah.
Boom.
Trying to find
Oh, dapat. Oh, dua.
the shot dart. Oh, it's a double.
Gila.
Yatsuka, panic stations from him inside the door, trying to make his way into heaven however he can. Riddle Order left reeling, stuck behind a dark
Oh,
cover,
nice.
and Yatsuka
Ayo,
cleared
ayo,
out of
guys.
heaven as well. Boom, on the verge of series point here.
Ada
All
paranoia.
down to
Mending.
Jojo.
Mending udah dah.
In with
Peran
the
dari
off angle,
ini.
he might have the spike, but
Perannya dulu
completely
bang. Bang, perannya
surrounded.
dulu bang.
Just take a look at the map as well, Famous. On from the other side,
Dapat
where could he
dapat info.
possibly go?
Oh, dapat arena. Nah,
Just
gitu.
completely banged up. Shiro in for the
Ayo, satu lagi, guys.
kill. It is now match point and series point for Boom
Yuk
Esports.
bisa yuk.
Riddle order just continued to force by
Riddle
and force
order,
by
Riddle
and get
get
absolutely nothing
Cabut.
done on this attacking side.
Yuk, bisa yuk.
Boom on the verge of teeing themselves up with one of their greatest opposition in Southeast Asia. It's going to be a Southeast Asian
Wow.
derby between
Wow,
Boom
dong,
and Full Sense for the opportunity to take on an
Gila.
impenetrable SPG in
Sakti
that
banget,
final.
cuy. Shotgunnya
Unless
sakti
Riddle
loh.
Order can put together one of the most insane comebacks we've ever seen.
All
Gila.
in towards this B site
Udah,
now.
oh,
NC
gila, gila, ya.
Slasher.
Ah,
He's
mati.
contacted
Ya,
Kaide.
ngetik kedua.
They
Oh.
have him surrounded. Berserk though on the side.
Ah.
Alongside
Ah.
Famous
Oh.
right back. The cage comes up. The
Fuck.
shots go through.
Fuck.
The recon
Fuck.
perfect square onto
Fuck.
Kaide.
Ayo,
This could
fuck.
be it.
Fighting
Famous back onto the shorty now looking for
Fuck.
the kills onto the other
Fuck.
side. He picks
Ayo,
up.
fuck.
Yatsuka takes him down.
Fighting tooth and nail to get back in here. Shiro has the
Bawah.
Sova
Pas
directly
lagi bawah.
below him, looking for Yatsuka. Despi applying pressure, has a pretty good timing to slide out onto the line. Into
Nah,
the
but-
heaven side, spike drop.
Udah.
Friday,
Ah,
30
ah.
HP.
Oh,
And
lawan
that's gonna be
Thailand,
the round to end it all.
lawan Thailand.
Starting things off the first day of playoffs. What an incredible overtime. And on to the next map. Just on Abyss. Nothing expected. Riddle. They tried so hard. So much of an effort from the first
Gila,
map.
gila, gila.
Ace,
Keren banget.
he did everything possible.
You got a feel for him.
Positif.
Incredible performance over on Lotus Plaque. He did everything he could in this series, but truth be told, the reason why I mentioned his performance on Lotus is that's where this series died for Riddle Order. Boom pulling out the Abyss pick, the first time that this map has been played here at Ascension Pacific, and they have been shown to be fearsome on it.
And they were so darn good. And they must be thinking about it. What went wrong? How did this all happen? Just feeling those tears. Everything came down to these moments, but of course, only one team can actually move forward. They step off the stage because Boom had come here to play.
And the crowd is behind them as well.
Kayaknya udah dulu deh
You
gua.
can see them
Udah
feeling the
juga.
energy, feeling the hometown vibes.
Gila.
Can hear the crowd roaring for Boom, willing them on to continue along in the lower bracket of this tournament and take it all home for Indonesia. They want a full Indonesian squad in VCT Pacific.